I just muted my mic. Okay, there we go. Hi, everybody. It's Bobby here. We are not doing an episode of Behind the Cards today. Today, we are pulling cards, doing online readings for you. And I am joined by my guest, Marion Kirk, all the way from Scotland, Edinburgh. Am I correct?
Glasgow.
Glasgow. I apologize. I'm not
Last time,
familiar with the landscape in Scotland. Edinburgh
last
is one of
time.
the I know a few places just from the telly. Glasgow, is that the one with the giant festival?
No.
Is it Edinburgh? I
Mhm.
can never remember. Oh gosh, I apologize. But yes, my goal is to go to Europe, and I want to visit a couple friends while I'm there, and I would love to drop by and visit you. That is my goal one day, is to be able
Okay.
to travel.
That, that country of Europe with several states called France and Italy and
Right. um I'm excited. I haven't seen you in a while. Last time we talked, we did a live with
yeah,
um, your life story. We
we
took you down the fool's journey. Now,
yes.
I just realized a friend of mine has gone live at the same time. Gerald, you know
Oh,
Gerald.
hello, Gerald. Was that where
You know,
everybody is?
yeah, Gerald is going live. So,
Oh no.
I know. But that's okay. If people don't show up, I get a chance to discuss things with you and get your opinion on the cards.
You
Last
can
time
do
we
that.
talked about, yeah, I can do whatever the hell I want. That's the good thing about this show. Um, the last time we talked, we discussed your life story, what started your spirituality. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of my
And we had
favorite shows to
that
watch.
therapy
I
session.
love. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to touch too much on the astrology, how you started with that.
The astrology came with watching Russell Grant when I was like 4 and 5 years old on
Russell
Breakfast
Brand?
TV. Russell Grant.
Oh, Grant. I was
Um,
like, Russell
yeah.
Brand, the comedian?
No, 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 no. No, he's about the same age as me, so no. um,
I was going
I
to
I
say,
was I was watching that, but then my mum, she was really into astrology as well, and it's like one of my earliest memories, and my mum, she'll probably kill me if she ever sees this, was my mum saying, I'm so pleased that you were a Taurus. I really didn't want you to be a Gemini. And it was like the first
really?
it's like it's really one of the first things, but the thing is, it's like I have got Mercury in Gemini, and my descendant is Gemini, and I have got a fatal attraction to Geminis.
Describe Geminis for me.
Fun, frivolous Peter Pan, Knight of Swords, with clever wittiness. Are you a Gemini, Bobby?
No, I am not a
You know,
Gemini. I'm like, no. No, my
no,
brother, I do
no
have
one
a
of
brother
these.
who is Gemini. I'm a Leo. I
A
am fixed
Leo.
fire. Yeah. I
Well,
am I am a true Leo. I need to be seen. Um,
mhm. Were you not a
I'm just
hairdresser?
gone. What's that?
Were you a hairdresser at some point?
I was a hairdresser. Yep.
It's such a Leo profession. It's like, you know.
um, I don't know. Well, not that side. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I knew I
Oh,
had somewhere in here. I have shears on my hand, my
I
arm.
love that.
Um, that was my advertising, and then I was a nail tech also. And to advertise my business as a nail tech, I used to wear one long pinky nail decorated with a lot of designs. And people would ask me, "What's that about? Are you a cokehead?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a nail tech. Here's my business card." And that's how I used to get my business, was people seeing it. Um,
Mhm.
any way that I could business I was going to. Um, Today I'm using the Hush Tarot because I am a twisted soul, yet I am a beautiful soul.
You're beautifully twisted.
I'm beautifully twisted, exactly. And then in addition to that,
Mhm.
I'm using my Murder of Crows deck. If you guys have never used the Murder of Crows deck, it is a twisted deck. It is a shadow work deck.
Mhm. That is a deck that I in the initial stages of my grieving process after my dad passed was the deck that I turned to. That was, for me, if I was reading for me, it was that deck. I've got such a place in my heart over that deck. It's beautiful.
It's true. I was at a meeting a couple of months ago. It
Mhm.
was a cover meeting, and there's a table at our group where you can drop off things for exchanges, like tarot cards and tools, and things like that.
Mhm.
That if you're not going to use, pass it along. And a
Yeah.
woman went to drop the tarot Murder of Crows deck on the table, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Stop! What are you doing? Don't get rid of that deck." She says, "Well, I never use it. It's a little uncomfortable for me to work with." And three witches around her turned around and said, "That's why you need to keep it." Okay. It's a shadow work deck.
Yeah.
If it's uncomfortable for you, it's for a reason. You need to work through these things. Use this
Mhm.
deck. So we actually suggested that she hold on to it. She did.
Mhm.
Um, some decks are just too difficult for me to look at and work with.
That's the
Doesn't
point.
stop me. Yeah, doesn't stop me. Like one of the decks that I had trouble with was this one, the Goetia. Have you ever used this deck?
Is that Fabio Lustrani?
I don't know. Might be. Yes. Yes, it is Fabio.
I
He's one of my favorite artists
I
of all
don't.
time.
I
This
I
deck,
love the
for those who don't know, this deck deals with the Tree of Life, but the demonic aspects associated with it. There's another deck. This is called Goetia Tarot and Dark, but the mate to it is this one, Notoria Tarot and Light. It's gorgeous, but it deals with angels. Now, the thing about angels and demons is I view them as pretty much the same. They both terrify me. These
yeah.
angels are not
They are
cute, fluffy angels. They
so.
are
Do
the
you know
warriors of
that
God.
truly that's a hill that I will die on, Bobby. See this utter shit. The angels are cute and fluffy and what I call hay house angels.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not. They
They're
really are not. And it just
they're terrifying.
it's a
They're terrifying for a reason. If you read, even if you read the Bible, the description of the seraphim, and there is just brutal. Marion, you kind of froze up a little bit there, love. Uh, yeah,
Oh, well,
you
it's fine.
are frozen. You may have to exit
Mm,
out and jump back in. Um,
okay.
let's see. What other decks do I like that are twisted but difficult to work with? This is my working deck, everybody. Um, what you see behind me is my working station for when I do my professional readings. I have 12 decks set up. I have Dancing with the Dark, uh, Heaven and Earth, Standard, Rider-Waite Smith. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's a newer one that I got, and it deals with the I Ching also. which I don't know. I'm working on it. Hi, Elemental. Marion's gonna be right back. She had to grab a fresh stream. She jumped out. And then I've got Tarot of Dreams, Thoth, Lorenzi Tarot. Let's see. I got to add her to the stage. Here we go.
Hi.
Hey, gorgeous. How you doing? Yeah, I was saying what I have up here. My decks. What are your favorite decks to use?
Context. It depends. It depends. I'll have like rendered with Smith or a version of that or something we say similarly because we go readings it needs to be quick. You know, it needs to be easy. With other decks, it depends. It's like every week I'll select a different deck for myself, for my own card draws. But yeah, it just depends.
Gotcha. My favorite deck. Oh, she did it again. She bailed on me. It's the way I chase women away. That's why men love me. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's say hi to a couple of people. We said hi to Shenanigans. What's up, my love? And Elemental Cartomancy. I love your name, by the way. Every time I see it pop up, I work with the elements a lot. And I tell everybody I'm a cartomancer, like a superhero. What decks do you guys like to use more than anything else? Yeah, I think the lovely Marion has some connection issues. We're seeing connections lately have been real spotty. Have you guys noticed that? I had to upgrade just so I could have better quality, and I'm not happy about it, but it's turning out to be totally worth it. I just feel so alone. There she is. Yeah, the sun is wreaking havoc. Hey, Marion. We were talking about how the sun is messing with everything lately.
Oh, everything seems to be fine, but do you know what it is, right? I think I have issues going live on the internet because I think what it is depending on who I'm live with, I create too much psychic energy. and it just basically goes a bit
And
nuts.
overload.
It does. There's been so many like situations and yeah.
You know, my sister is like that. When we were younger, my sister used to blow up computers accidentally because her talents lie in a different way than mine. She carries a strong charge with her everywhere, and she's blown up so many computers, just flat plain fried them out of nowhere. So Elemental Cartomancy says, I asked his favorite decks. Are their favorite decks? Is it Poppy, Palin's Everyday Enchantment? Okay. Light Sears, Rider Waite Smith, and Tarot of the Abyss. Mercury is looming over Marion on the screen. Oh yeah, that's my symbol. Maybe he's effing with your connection love.
I love Mercury.
Here,
I adore
there we
Mercury.
go.
I don't mind.
We'll see if
I
we
do
get.
love Mercury.
Let's see if we can get Mercury to stop messing with you.
So, Bobby, do you know what I refer to Chris as? Chris for Elemental Cartomancy. Chris is my emotional support Scorpio.
Is it? I love that.
If one can have an emotional support Scorpio, then Chris is it for me.
And then Shenanigans said it's called Shores of
Sure.
Moon Luna Somnia. I don't think I'm familiar with that. Oh. My sister is my emotional support Scorpio. Do I need to get one? Do I need to seek out an emotional support Scorpio? And it's funny. My grandmother was a Scorpio. She was my protector. I came from an abusive household, and my grandmother, I remember her standing in my father's face saying, "Hit me." You know, she was a bad bitch, as we like to say.
I collect Scorpios. I see like people collect like stamps or coins or whatever. I collect Scorpios.
Mhm.
It's like I've got some kind of dog whistle to Scorpios. It's like they just come towards me.
I attract crazy people. I don't know why. It
You're a Leo.
just
It's the sun because you radiate sunshine.
and then I don't know about you, but this last lunar eclipse that we had that day, I was working in the shop, and the whole day, I was busier than usual, and B, the clients that I had tended to be a little
Cookie? Oh no, again.
extreme. I don't want to know. Where do we go? There we are.
Bobby,
Um,
what the hell is going
everybody
on?
had extreme questions. Put it that way.
Right.
I don't know. It's definitely. This is not us. Our systems are good. This is unusual. Yeah, I believe there is sunspots, interference, something. I'm not happy with it, but we work with what we got, right?
It's fine.
Don't mess with my Mercury symbol, man. My Mercury symbol, I work with Lord Hermes, and that symbol you see up there is a combination. It's got, let me see, right in the center of the little ring, it's got Hecate's wheel. So it's a combination of my two gods, Hermes and Hecate, on a field of yellow for communication.
Do you know, it's so
See what
strange because last year, choosing
that's about right. I don't mind being crazy.
so
I am
last
crazy.
year I went to London. No, good. Do you know, I've got a theory. See if people who say that they're crazy, who naturally admit that they're crazy, they're more self-aware. What's dangerous is the people who think they're sane and won't admit that they're crazy. That's the real matters.
I don't believe
That's my opinion.
there's. Yeah, I think crazy people are holy people. Actually, I believe that my entire life, madmen and fools are blessed by the gods, and I'm both. So,
Oh, I've got a new deck. Talking about madmen. Right. That's
oh,
Abby.
Does anybody have a question? We are taking
So
questions.
it's
Ooh, oh, I like it. It looks like a
the
John D style.
magicians, masters, and madmen. It's a Travis
Which
McHenry deck.
that's cool. What what is that first word? What and
Hmm.
madmen?
Magicians, martyrs, and madmen.
Martyrs. I couldn't see clearly. Martyrs and madmen.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah,
The
I've
only
not
deck
used it
that
yet.
I'm
I got it in my goodie bag.
the only deck that I'm truly looking forward to getting, there's two. One is the Ephemera Tarot that matches my True Black Tarot, and the other it hasn't been created yet. It's Ken Payne and Chris Butler are producing a Hecate Tarot deck,
Hmm.
and um, Chris has
Hmm.
shown me a couple of the cards that he's created for it, and I'm just freaking out. Okay, I'm so excited. His work is beautiful, but when they came out with the Hecate Oracle deck, I lost my mind. I did. I happened to be in public when I read that it was coming out, and I started screaming out, I was like, yeah, doing that type of thing, and everyone's looking at me like, what? And I was like, oh, leave me alone. Um, I and the thing is about a month before that, I had just met Chris Butler. I sent him a letter to introduce myself with the Healing Light Tarot, and I wanted to talk about that. And as I'm sitting in the store, I was like, I know this guy. I know him. And everybody's like, good for you. That's fantastic. But I immediately went home and sent him a letter. I was like, you didn't tell me you had a Hecate day. And that's when it came out that I was following Hecate. And that it says, no, Bobby, there's a third deck you want, the Grief Journal Oracle. Some wee babe who's created it can't mind her name. I don't know.
Do you
I will
know?
look it up. Ever
It's
since I
me.
read it, I can't help but think of Madman as the fool. Well, there's a very good reason for that because the fool was originally the Madman card. He wasn't the fool. He was the madman being chased out of town on older decks. So that's the main reason you think that, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
You're connecting with the true energy of the card. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The goal today was to pull cards, but we may end up just discussing.
We're just having a chat and a chill.
I like that.
It's
No pressure. I
like a.
do
Mhm.
want you to discuss more about the astrology. Um, we started talking about it and then we got distracted. But um, when you started it, was it overwhelming for you?
No, because it's weird because it's like when I started it, it was just one of those things where it was always there. And then I remember like being about, I think it was my 12th birthday, my mum gave me a book on astrology, and it was basically breaking down just each of their signs in the zodiac. And so it was very much this organic growth process where I was introduced to it bit by bit. And obviously I think that's because at the time, there wasn't the internet, so it was just like one part at a time. So I never felt that kind of a overwhelm. Um what I'm
Find it
feeling.
interesting. when you
Mhm.
say she gave it to you on your 12th birthday, um, did you ever make the connection 12 houses, 12th birthday?
My mum's know that. That was just a coincidence.
I know it's a
It
coincidence, but did you ever make that
was that.
connection?
I never have actually because it's just very much that kind of, and I think it's because like I'm like a Taurus, so I'm like fixed there, so I tend to accept things,
Taurus, you're a Taurus.
and it's just I'm a
My
Taurus.
ex was a
Mhm.
Taurus. It,
But
that
my
was
5
stubborn people. My God, you're stubborn people. True that. Are you guys?
it's
Is anybody
because
in the
we're
crowd
right.
Taurus? Being a fixed sign, though,
See, the
you know how to handle your business. That's good. Um,
mhm. It's difficult because it's like, Taurus would not be stubborn if everybody just listened to us and done what we told them because we're right. It's very frustrating being a Taurus.
Taurus, all fixed signs, not just Taurus,
Mhm,
Leo's, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. Fixed signs are people
mhm.
you don't want to mess with. They just
No.
will not budge. You cannot sway them. They're fixed
Mhm,
signs for a reason.
mhm,
Leos, Scorpios. Scorpios.
mhm,
My grandma was one of the most dangerous women that I had ever met, and she stood about 5 foot nothing. Um, she,
mhm,
my brother and sister couldn't stand her. I was the spoiled one, I admit. Um, I didn't realize they couldn't stand her till we were adults, but my grandma was my hero. She protected me, she taught me. She was the first one to teach me how to throw a punch, because I was getting beat up in school, and my mom always said, "You're not gonna fight. You're not going to fight." And my grandma pulled me aside and she said, "Forget what your mother is saying. You're getting your ass kicked. Take your little hand. Hi, Care. How you doing, my love?" Um, she said, "Take your hand, do like this." And she showed me how to hold the thumb and she showed me how
mhm.
to swing. And the next time that guy came at me, I swung on him and I almost broke his jaw, and he never bothered me again.
No,
But my mom was
exactly.
angry even at that. My mom was angry because my mom was an abused wife, so violence just drove her over the edge. It
Mhm,
and I understand that, but
mhm.
her trauma was getting my ass kicked, and my grandma didn't like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's like it's funny because I grew up in a household where my mum and my sister Scorpio, my dad and myself Taurus, but my dad had a Scorpio moon.
mm,
So I was like surrounded by scorpionic energy, and like my sister, she was a chef and a um nightclub bouncer. So so it was like feisty jobs that she had, and it was like she was my younger sister. So she taught me how to fight. It was like we used to say it was like two of us were like this deadly combination because I was the brains and she was like the brawn.
oh,
So
yeah,
Anne would punch first, and then I would just be like, I would make up the excuse to get Anne out of the trouble.
right.
you know,
I get it. I knew where you were going with that before you even said it, because my sister and I played a similar function with each other. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
I get it.
Yep.
We do have our first question from Motivation.
Oh,
We say
okay.
hi, Motivation. Say hi. What's good coming my way this October? That's a very good question. Can I ask, since we have Marion here, what is your sign motivation? Can we ask that? I'm always curious on
What's your
this.
um, do, 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 do.
Here, there's always time for fur babies to be alone with them.
Libra.
She's a Libra.
Oh, birthday month. Birthday month for motivation. Let's the September one. Do, do, do.
Okay, what I'm gonna do for you, I chose these two decks. I'm gonna do, I don't know how many she's pulling. I'm gonna pull two cards for you for balance since you're a Libra, okay? One for positive, one for warning, okay? So the first card I'm gonna pull for you. Oh, my husband's about to walk in. I just heard his car pull up. And the dogs are barking. Oh, he came in the front door. That lovely man. Instead of tramping through my studio. So the first card I'm pulling for you, it's the Six of Pentacles. I'm using the Hush Tarot, but I pulled it upside down. Now, I'm sorry, the Four of Pentacles. Lord help me. I'm thinking about him because he is going to come in here right now. He brought me a soda pop. The Four of Pentacles upside down says you're not holding on to your finances. You need to hold on to finance. All right. Take note of your health. Take note of your home. Pay attention to the world around you. All right. This says hold on to your finances. Don't make any unnecessary purchases. Don't be extravagant with your money this month. You're going to need to hold on to it. Now, the big warning card that's jumping out, I could see it from here. Yeah, you didn't just get a card, you got a jumper, my dear, and you got the Chariot. Okay, so these two cards together tell me you may have a need to travel in October. So you may need to hold on to your finances to do that. Something may be coming up that you may need to attend to. So that is my advice to you. Marion, what do you have?
What I've got for motivation is I got the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Five of Cups. Okay. Now, what initially this is making me feel like is it feels like there is going to be some sort of journey, but it's going to be slow to manifest. So it feels more like it feels like there's something that you are almost expecting or anticipating for your birthday, some kind of gift, and you may not necessarily get it for your birthday. And it's as if it's like what it's feeling like is you think that you've dropped enough hints for people to realise what it is you would like for your birthday, but they're no catching on. You know, so if you have got a partner, etc., and if there's some kind of gift that you are specifically after, be more direct and tell them. You know, it's like just like for instance, saying like with Bobby picking up the fact that there's a trip coming. Um, it could also be the fact that you're saying, "Oh, I think like I'd really like to go on a trip for my birthday," and your partner or whomever book a trip, but it's not to the place that you necessarily want to go.
I like that.
Uh, and it's like that's what's coming up with a Five of Cups because there is still like the two upright cups, so that's still the trip and getting technically what you want, but the three fallen cups is almost like the kind of a tears being cried that because you didn't get to go to the place that you want because you're a Libra, you're ruled by Venus. Okay, you're ruled by it's the masculine personification a Libra, a Venus, sorry, but you still like nice surroundings. You don't necessarily want to go camping unless that's what you're into. If you're into going to luxurious locations and you get a trip to go camping and like wild camping or something, like that's an absolute nightmare. So to be more direct. There you go. And happy birthday.
And yeah, happy birthday. And they say, yeah, I'll be direct. Good. Now, you said something right there. For those who don't know astrology or elements, why is Libra a masculine element?
Libra is a masculine, and when I say that, I don't mean gender. You know, we don't talk about it's like yin and yang, if you like. So it's so in traditional astrology, right? So traditional astrology, the planets end at Saturn, so we don't count Neptune, Pluto, and Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. So if we look at the planets and the signs rulership, just based on traditional astrology, every planet has got two signs that they rule. And there is a masculine expression of the planet and a feminine expression of the planet. So it's the feminine elements are water and earth. The masculine elements are fire and air. If we think about it in the tarot, right? So fire and air are wands and swords. Masculine. I mean, I don't need to spell it out. Right? Visually, like masculine. The feminine energy is pentacles and cups because they're receiving.
Yeah.
So it's the
And
same in astrology with the elements.
on the tree of life, the four worlds of creation, fire, water, air, and earth, it goes masculine, fire, water, feminine, masculine, air, and feminine, earth. So yeah, that's the Kabbalah part of it. I love.
Yep. It's like
All right. Since we were talking about Scorpios earlier in astrology, um, why are there so many aspects to Scorpio? I've always wondered this. It just seems it is the most complicated sign, and no matter how much I study it, I'm finding out more and more and more and more and more, and it's just starting to irritate me, to tell you the truth. Do you have any comment on that?
Every sign has the same level of depth, etc. I think it's just because Scorpio's the darkest sign and the darkest part of the zodiac. Right, so it's the fixed signs in general. Right? They are in the heart of whatever season they're in. So Scorpio is in the dark half. First of all, Scorpio's in the dark half of the zodiac, but it's in the darkest point because it's when the sun is going like down through that part of the zodiac. Right. So it's like because autumn fall, right? The sun is heading towards the darkest part of the zodiac. Right. So, but then when the sun gets to the Aquarius, it's heading from the dark to the light. But Scorpio is you're heading to the dark into the dark. So Scorpio rules the underworld. Scorpio rules like death, decay, destruction. Scorpio's the feminine expression of the planet Mars. So that's where you get that kind of a like violence streak.
Oh, I see.
That's where you get the feistiness for it. That's why it's that's why there's this kind of a in modern astrology, there's this sort of a confusion. Well, if Scorpio's a water sign, and so water signs are emotional, but so why are Scorpios so violent? Because in traditional astrology, the rule be Mars. So, oh, are we frozen? Hi.
Whoa, something just happened. You totally.
Are we
There you
back?
are. Um, the
Where
thing
did I
about
get up to?
Scorpio, when do you do a zodiac tarot spread?
No, I don't offer one.
No.
No,
Okay.
it's weird.
When I do my zodiac spreads, there's two ways I do it. One, I will read the energy of the zodiac sign. The other way is when I lay the zodiac signs down, I read the energy of the major arcana associated with that sign. So Aries would be the emperor. I read the energy of the emperor. We go down to Taurus. I read the energy of the Hierophant card, and it circles all the way around. So when we get to Scorpio, I read the energy of the death card. That's how I do it. And like I say, the other way would be I would read the energy of Aries itself, but I need to decide before I do my spread and do my reading which route I'm going to go, because I can't be jumping back and forth between one and the other. I mean, I probably could. I like to be consistent. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's I think ultimately with regards to Scorpio, as I was saying, it's just that Scorpio is much more honest about being in the darkness. You know, they are they're easier, they find it easier to talk about the uncomfortable things. It's like you can always tell if people who are used to speaking to Scorpios, when a Scorpio speaks to them, and then you can, if you're in a group, and then you can see people who don't really associate with Scorpios, and they get really uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and it's like, I can't believe they just said that. Oh my god! And you can see it, whereas I don't even notice that. I don't even bat an eyelid. And the amount of people who say to me, they assume that I'm a Scorpio, and I think it's crazy. It's because like me and my friend Carrie, she's a Leo. And we joke and we say that I have undergone Scorpio immersion therapy. So
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
I just naturally exude like scorpionic traits.
I love the wording of this. Here says, ironically, my descendant is Scorpio. Okay.
That means you've got a Taurus descendant, so that's a lovely thing. And then your MC is Aquarius and Leo.
Leo is the best sign. I'm just saying. I mean,
Well, they've got the best hair. I'll give you that.
I don't want to brag, but Leos bring in the party. They keep the party going, and they make sure everybody's taken care of. That's Leo.
But Scorpio's, no, sorry, Taurus is the one that makes sure everybody's fed at the party.
Oh,
Leo brings
jeez.
but Taurus cater the party.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you that. I'm going to use that from now on. That's awesome. Again, I say fixed signs know how to maintain things. Okay. Well, we do. We have to. It's part of our nature. My sister is a Cancer.
Oh.
We are 10 months apart. We're called Mexican twins. She never, Bobby. Well said from the Leo. Thank you. We tell people, because we were babies at the same time. We grew up together. We tell people we're twins. And I forget we're not twins. we have that twin bond. We have that twin mind. Um, if something's wrong, she knows it. If something's wrong with her, I know it. Um, she is also what I like to call insane. Because she is
Human.
she's a musician who has traveled the world and she has no fear. She is that type of Cancer. She is the warrior Cancer. I know
Mhm.
there's two kinds that I've met, people who are softer and people who are more overtly out there. She is more overtly out there. Um,
Mhm.
what is your
What's
opinion
cute?
on Cancers?
Cancerians, I think they are. I think for a long time, I had only ever encountered the softer kind, and I found them quite frustrating. To be perfectly honest, I found male Cancerians frustratingly annoying and spineless, and I found female Cancerians emotionally manipulative. So for a long time, it was a sign that I really struggled with, like, and I really kept away from them, like really, like just distanced myself completely away from them. And then, but my North Node is in Cancer, so and then it wasn't until I met Rachel Jean, who two of us did the Wandering Moon Tarot together. Um, that really changed my opinion, or she really changed my opinion of Cancerians. And then it was like, now I, like you, I can see the both sides of the sign, you know. But it's like, what's lovely about you and your sister is, right? So remember, I was saying previously that every sign of the zodiac in traditional astrology has got every planet, sorry, has got two signs that they rule. Well, there's a caveat to that, except for Cancer and Leo. But yous are ruled by the two luminaries. So Leo's ruled by the sun
Repeat
and
that part.
Cancer's
I
ruled
didn't
by
get
the
that.
moon. Well,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
so you
Um,
know what? So yous are the
I
two
hadn't thought
luminaries.
about that. Cancer
Um,
is ruled by the
mhm.
Cancer is ruled by the
So
moon.
you
Leo is
two,
ruled by the sun. I hadn't thought about that.
mhm. So you know the
That's
fact that
interesting.
you
I've
two complete, you two together complete the luminaries. You know, yous bring light and shadow in equal measure to the world. You know,
it's
so it's
funny.
this ultimate expression of the elements.
We have a baby brother who is a Gemini, and my baby brother can go either way. He really can go either way. He can go with my energy. He can go with my sister's energy. But when the three of us are together, we are something special. Um, it's
Mhm.
interesting. Apparently, Geminis are known to everybody in here. My husband is a Gemini. He's a sarcastic and a troublemaker. I
I
love
adore
Geminis. It's
Geminis.
sarcastic. Everybody's got Geminis. Okay, here's something I like
Mhm.
to do. My brother was born May 25th. So if I went
Okay.
back 9 months, it's 12 August, right? That'd be August that they initiated the child to be born in May.
Mhm.
All right. So that means for my birthday, they were getting down. Woohoo! Okay, I figured it out. I got it.
All right then. You know that's why there's so many Scorpios in the world.
Because of summer?
No,
Why?
Because 9 months before Scorpio season is Valentine's Day.
That's what it is. Valentine's Day? That makes sense. Thank you. Okay. And that means Christmas. Oh, I was a product of Christmas. Oh, okay. I love it.
There you go.
Well, you guys in the crowd, what are your signs? Care, shenanigans. What are your signs? I switched out my chair. I'm sorry. I'm having to scooch all over the place with this. I had one that rolled, but I kind of
I
slipped
have
on
one
it.
that rolls with it.
My husband took it away.
My I need a new chair. It makes weird noises.
Yeah,
It does.
shenanigans
With
is a Libra.
Libra, yep.
What I know about Libras is balance, a need for balance, trouble at times keeping control of their emotions. They keep control of their emotions, but when they lose it, they lose it. Am I far off on that?
You see, what I think's interesting is about Libras, right? So, like you said there, right? It's like all Libras are so balanced, and they're looking for, like, they can see both sides of the story, etc., etc. But one of the biggest challenges of a Libra's life, or somebody with strong Libra placements and energy in the chart, is that eternal search for balance. So some of the people I've met, some of the most unbalanced people I've met in my life are Libra, because they
Yeah.
have veered so far to one extreme or the other extreme, and it's like trying to, and then they spend the rest of their life trying to draw themselves back and find that equilibrium.
Yeah, when they lose it, they lose it. My mom is a Libra, and she's an incredibly clever woman, but yeah, when she loses it, she loses it.
It's a masculine expression of Venus.
You are
Libra
just a
is a
wealth of
masculine
information.
expression of Venus.
And what about Pisces? Pisces is
Mhm.
another one that confuses the heck out of me.
Pisces is meant to. That's Pisces' job. That's Pisces' job with the zodiac. They're the dreamers. They're the don't have a clue what they're doing with themselves. It's like they don't have any sense of direction. They're the dreamers, the artists, the musicians, the creators, and that's where they are. They're the psychics, the
Pisces,
mystics. Aye.
let's see. Um, my husband is a Capricorn. He is
Right.
all about security. He always has been. My husband who is a Capricorn and I am a Leo. Now, I tell people because they see us together and they see that we are so different. He is very quiet, very there.
Mhm.
And I am just all over the place, banging off the walls. Um, I tell people together we balance each other and complement each other. We are a picture. He gives my picture a frame. I give his picture color. And that is why we work well together.
Mhm.
Now, we also
That is
balance each other. He pulls
mhm,
my shit in, and I make him be a little more outgoing
mhm. It's a beautiful combination when it works.
when it
Um,
works.
and how I see it is, it's like, as long as the Capricorn can be a bit softer at times, it's like how I see it is the Capricorn provides security for the Leo to be a Leo. His Bobby froze again.
I think we both did for a second there, at least on my end. Um, I did used to date a Taurus, And that Taurus was very much concerned with finances, but they took it to an extreme, and it became their obsession as opposed to something to be aware of.
Mhm. I
We did
think
not get along well, and we were together 5 years.
no, I think, in my experience, Taurus and Leo do very well as friends.
Yeah, we weren't too well in a relationship.
Anything more than friends, that's where it starts to get, because I'll give you an example from my own personal back catalogue, as I like to refer to it. Many moons ago, I was in my 20s and I went through a really tough time, and I was pretty broken. Right, I was pretty broken, and I met a Leo, and he was lovely, and he was wonderful, and he took care of me, and he looked after me, and it was like as soon as I started to get better, and as soon as I started to get more like me, things suffered between the two of us, and I've just noticed I'm pretty much just talking to anybody that's listening because Bobby's lost. But that was
No, I'm
essentially
here.
what
I
happened.
just shared the
So
screen.
the better I got, the worse the relationship got. I think you missed that. Did you miss all that, Bobby?
Yeah, I got you. Look, I just gave you the screen so you could have
Oh, did you? Right.
from
So yeah, essentially that was what happened with me and that particular Leo. It was like he adored me when I was all vulnerable and unwell, and like, like not unwell, like, but when I was like a little bit needy,
malleable and controllable.
when he felt like I needed him. But as soon as I started to like get my strength back and get better and become like whatever version, the next version of Marion after that experience, things started to really suffer. Because and I remember him, he was like, "You don't need me anymore," and I'm like, "I know, but that's a good thing. We can be equal." And he's like, "But I don't like that," and that's when the wheels started to fall off, because it was like he knew that I was like a really strong person and had a really strong character, but at the same time, when me being slightly weakened emotionally, he was able to step up and have that caring role, and then it was like when we were splitting up, he was like, "You've diminished my masculinity." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck off. Buy me a fucking river." Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Ah, Marion is here, you guys.
hey.
Marion is here. I mean, Heather. Heather's here.
It's
Uh,
very nice here. I'm just like, hi.
Hi, Heather. We are talking about astrology today with Marion. Questions are open. We are taking questions, but
Yes,
we are mainly just having a really nice chat.
we're just having a
I'm
wee
able
blather.
Yeah, I'm able to ask the questions that have been plaguing me about the certain zodiac signs. Pisces literally has been the most confusing sign of all for me to deal with. Um,
Mhm.
when it
There
comes up in a
is a
reading, I tend to lean towards spirituality more than anything when I see it in a reading. Um, what is your main go to when you see Pisces show up?
Pisces are dreamers. They are. But I have got so many male friends that are Pisces. So I have, and they are like my dearest people. There's two in particular. Stephen Bright. I'm sure you know Stephen Bright.
No.
Tarot guru. Oh, do you know? Right, okay, so he's like really accomplished. He's like wrote about 5 books, done 3 decks.
I'm gonna have to look
So,
now.
Stephen Bright, he's amazing. He's one of me and Chris's muckers, Chris Butler's muckers.
I will
Um,
probably know him, but not making the connection in my head.
so Stephen Bright, and the other one is Anthony Perotta. Anthony is a Italian American astrologer, fashionista. He is incredible. AP Astrology on Instagram. He he's like, I call him, he is my emotional barometer, because he's just like my soul. He's like the wee brother that I always wanted. So yeah, and
Oh,
we just have this incredible bond, and I adore him so much. And I'm getting to see him again in January. I'm so excited. So yeah.
I'm still thinking about my brother and sister. My brother being a Gemini. He is incredibly smart. I mean, incredibly smart. We were raised by a single mother
Mm-hmm.
in a period of American history where we were known as Gen X. We raised ourselves. We were latchkey kids. From the time we were 6, we raised ourselves. So we were at home while my mom worked till 1 in the morning. My brother, when he was 9, got caught running a stolen skateboard ring.
Oh God.
He was very clever, but he wasn't smart. One of the things he got
Mm.
arrested for when he was, I think, 12 was writing on the side of the sheriff's department with spray paint. My mom was upset, but she was more upset with the fact that he didn't just write, he wrote his name. So that's how they caught him. She said, not only is he a criminal, he's a stupid criminal. And that's what upset her more than anything. But he's such a smart kid. I mean, out of the 3 of us, my brother is the smartest one. My sister is the most dedicated one, and I am the most creative one. But we all have our roles. And do you
Well,
have
what's
brothers and
a
sisters?
hmm?
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I had one sister, she's passed. So
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
kind of like a only child, but I'm not an only child. It's a very weird place to be, because it's like you grow up as the oldest sibling, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, okay, so I'm no, but it's weird because it's as if the universe, like over the years, have brought like people into my life that I can be like a big sister to. And the amount of people who have said to me, they're like, Marion, you're just like my big sister. So I just give it that big sister energy, and I'm happy with that. I'm good with that.
I've taken on the role of protector. When you're in my circle, I am now your big brother. I am now your protector. Um, I don't associate with people who how do I say this? I like my friends to be able to come to me and to be aware and comfortable enough to come to me. If somebody is not comfortable enough to come to me with their problems, we're not really friends. Um,
Mhm.
we're not that way. And Heather, I want to point something out to you. Do you notice that little wrench next to your name? I finally figured it out. I'm just saying. Um, they make fun of me, Marion, because I couldn't figure out how to give a wrench to people.
Oh, you didn't know how to make the moderators. Well, to
Yeah,
be fair, it's harder when you're on StreamYard. It's a lot
Yeah,
easier when
it's
you're just doing it on YouTube, so there I'll stick up for you.
I finally figured out why I wasn't able to do it because I am doing it on StreamYard, and when they say do it, they're saying do it on YouTube.
Mm.
Um, but on my laptop here, when I try to open YouTube during a live stream, it
It gets
messes
so
everything up.
complicated.
It messes my computer up. So I
Mm.
have to go back afterwards and do it on previous streams. But I did it. Ange got one too, Heather. So you guys are now my mods. Yay!
Right, there's a
Um,
question here.
do who?
Um, Shenanigans. She's got a question.
Where at?
Did someone say shenanigans? It's up the
Oh,
chat about
I have a question for Marion.
yours.
This one?
Yes. So, how do ascendant moon and sun signs affect your personality? Right. So, if you think about it, right, so basically your sun, your moon, and ascendant is what's classed as your big three. If you're reading anything like online about astrology and you hear somebody saying, "Oh, what's your big three?" That's what they're talking about. Some people say it's the most important placements in the chart. It depends on your point of view. There isn't any astrology police. You can decide that if you want. So the way I look at it and the way that it works in my head is your sun sign is who you are at your core. If you think about in astrology, in astronomy, in the sky, every planet revolves round about the sun. So at the core of your person, that's your sun sign. So that's who you are at your core. Your moon sign is who you are emotionally. So your moon sign informs how you deal with emotions, how you express your emotions. And then your ascendant sign is the sign that was on the eastern horizon as you were born. So because the sun was ascending, so that's the sign that the sun was in. So your ascendant sign is how everybody sees you, how you show up in the world. So it's like, some people maybe think to say to you, or you'll maybe like look at like a description for your sun sign, and you're like, well, I don't relate to any of that. I don't resonate with any of that. Look at your ascendant sign. So when you see your ascendant sign, then look at the traits and the characteristics of that sign, and then you'll
Right.
maybe recognize more parts of yourself because that's what you express in the world. And that's like the personality. Maybe people will know you initially. That's like your kind of I don't mean this is like, it's no like a false face, but it's your public facing self. So like you'll maybe get like, say for instance, like celebrities, etc., etc. So your ascendant sign is like your public persona, and your sun sign is your private self, who only you, those nearest and dearest to you, really know and understand.
I've been studying lately um, Kabbalah and astrology at the
Mhm.
same time.
Good
Um,
for you.
it's made easier because of certain decks. They
Mhm,
combine the two. I'm lucky that way. I think right now I'm using the Angelarium Oracle deck, which is great for um, astrology and
mhm,
the Tree of Life. But one of the cards is Chiron.
mhm. Chiron.
Chiron. Um,
C-H,
IR.
Chiron. Chiron.
Yeah. Can you go into that, please, and explain what that is?
What Chiron is. So Chiron is an asteroid, but it's a major asteroid that really modern astrologers have kind of put more emphasis on. And Chiron in myth was a centaur, and it was a centaur who I think it was Zeus. Chiron was a healer, and he was immortal. And I think he did something to piss Zeus off, something like that. And Zeus was basically, he tied him, he wounded him. I think he castrated him because that's what they did in myth.
Yeah.
And
Chiron got
tied him.
cut by arrow from Hercules that had the blood of the Hydra on it.
Right, so there was, I'm not really that great in my myth, I know wee bits. So basically, it was this continuous wound, and it never healed. So he was known as a wounded healer. So in an astrological chart, where your Chiron is the wound that you bring into this lifetime. So the wound, so for instance, my Chiron is in Taurus, where my sun is. So, and it's interesting because it's at this, my Chiron is at the same degree as when my paternal grandmother's sun was in her chart. So my wound is like, my karmic wound is double, because it's like, it's where people can hurt you. So it's like, it doesn't matter in my life what somebody does to me, because nobody can hurt me the same as I can hurt myself.
True. I love that.
Because
That's
it's
say
in
loud,
the
girl.
same, it's in the same sign as my sun. So who I am at my core is where my wound is. And
Gotcha.
then it's in the sixth house. So the sixth house is to do with health. It's to do with, so all the parts of the sixth house. So that's like kind of like that's one of the not so great houses, right? But there's still strength in that, because it's like, if you've got major placements in the kind of a not so great houses, it means that you can endure so much more. And again, that's another aspect of having my wound in the same place as my sun. It means that personally in me, I have a greater level of personal endurance.
Cool.
So,
What
in
about
a nutshell.
the nodes, north and south nodes? How do those fit into astrology?
Okay, so the north and south node is, amongst other things, the placement of karma. As it's the head and the tail of the dragon.
Cool.
Okay, so it's always in the opposite signs, and the nodes run in the zodiac um, counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. They're
Mhm.
constantly in retrograde. Okay, so when the node, so you know how when we're entering an eclipse period, right? So if you look at somebody's birth chart, or you look at your birth chart, right? If the north or south node is in the same place as your sun and moon, you were born during an eclipse period. So that's how you can tell. So
I'm
an easier way to, I'm sorry.
people keep asking me about my chart. I did it once on an
Mhm,
app just to show them, and then I never really paid much more attention to it. I'm a Leo. That's
mhm.
pretty much what I know about myself. At one point, I knew
And
more.
that's mm,
Couldn't tell you.
mhm, but that's what you know.
It's it can be confusing, but it's not as confusing as I was expecting. I stayed away from Thoth Tarot for
Mhm,
years, for decades, because I was intimidated by the astrology aspect of the Thoth Tarot.
Mhm.
I was also intimidated by the Hebrew letter aspect. But once I started learning, it was not that bad at all. Astrology is still a little bit much for me to grasp. Um,
Mhm.
I don't think my mind works in that way yet. I'm still making those mental connections to be able to understand it without thinking. But I'm
Mhm.
fully confident that I'm going to get it. We have Samantha asking a question. Okay, my question is it a bad idea to do a cord cutting with someone live that you're trying to detach from? Will it make my situation worse? If you're trying to get away from somebody, doing a cord cutting, I don't see how it could make the situation worse unless you really did it wrong.
Mm. Do you know what I would do if it were me? I would forget about the cord cutting because there's a lot of misinformation out there about cord cutting. What I would do instead is I would put them in the freezer, write their name in a bit of paper, roll it up, and put it in a paper bag and put it in your freezer so that you freeze them out of your life.
That's a good idea. I do candles. Um, I don't do a cord cutting. I start off with two candles next to each other, and as time goes by, I just push the candles farther and farther away. And as they burn down into nothing, there's that distance between you. And that's
Mhm.
how I do my quote unquote cord cutting. Um, Yeah, I think Marion is onto something. A cord cutting doesn't feel right in this situation.
Yeah.
I think that a more passive approach would be better. Just even creating, I don't know, you're speaking the language of magic here when you say cord cutting. So if you're honestly interested in doing magic, do what Marion said, the freezing, do what I said, the candles, or even um,
Mhm.
pictures, some stones, something to create distance between you. Candles works best because they burn out, and
Mhm.
your relationship will just burn out. But yeah,
Mhm.
I would go that
And
way.
then she's saying, "I can't leave until I help him."
Whoa, wait!
And he said,
Can't leave
"Why?
until I help him get on his feet to get a vehicle.
If you want
Oh
to leave
dear.
him, why? Why do you need to do anything?"
Now, yeah, it's easy for us to say,
No, I understand. No, I
"Bitch,
know.
what?" No, but I agree with Marion. This is
Sorry.
your
I'm the
life.
queen of swords. Don't.
Yeah, we I've been in this situation where we feel we have to help somebody, we have to fix somebody, we have to make sure they're taken care of. Baby, you need to make sure you're taken care of first. Okay? I'm assuming they're a grown up. If you weren't there, they would
Mm,
need to find a way to progress. They would need to find a way to get themselves out of their own mess. So keep that in mind, please. Don't
mm,
put yourself in trouble to try to fix somebody else. All right.
mm,
I know there are times when we will do it for family and loved ones, but
mhm.
that's with the
If this
expectation that they're going to take an active part in their health too.
mm,
What were you saying, Marion?
I just think sometimes there's so much emphasis put on cord cutting and this, that, and the other, and it can be dangerous. A little information can be a dangerous thing, as we all know. So just kind of a be careful.
While we were talking, while I was saying that, we had a jumper. This is the Hermit card.
Mhm.
The Hermit card says pull back, honey. Pull back. All right. Reassess the situation. I think that you're putting yourself in a situation that you really don't need to be that concerned with. All right. You need to be concerned with yourself. What is that? I am much involved relationship. Whoa. All right. Let's see. I hear magic was involved in another relationship. I can't feel responsible for his downfall. Well, you have a choice. You can either focus on your life or you can focus on his. You need to make that decision. All right. What's more important to you? Um, I understand the need to be there for somebody else, but I just think you really and truly, there comes a point when everything has to stop and you need to pull your energy in and focus on yourself. And that is what I'm feeling. I will pull some cards for you, though. Let's do that. I'm going to pull from my Hush Tarot, dear.
Let's pull some cards.
Yeah. And then afterward, Heather wants to know, why is cord cutting harmful? We'll get to that. So again, I'm using the Hush Tarot for you. And we already pulled the Hermit card from the Murder of Crows deck. So from the Hush Tarot, we have the Star. Okay, I know this isn't showing up right, but it's the Star. The Star is a card of hope. The Star is a card of finding your way. It's time to seek a new direction, my dear. That's the bottom line of it. There's not too deep. There's not too much to go into. It's time to seek a new direction. Your focus needs to shift. Right. The Star also has the Hebrew letter association of Zadi, meaning fish hook, that draws you in. I feel like that hook of spirituality is what you need to lean into right now. You need to lean into your own intuition because it's telling you something's not right. And that feeling of something being not right is the fact that you really do need to focus on yourself. That is my opinion. And I'm going to pass it over to, okay, she says, I do feel that. Marion, what do you got?
Okay, so I actually really love these cards, both from a reading point of view and from a teachable moment point of view. All right. So I pulled the Knight of Cups, I pulled the Sun, and I pulled the Two of Wands. Okay. Now on the surface, anybody would look at these cards and think, oh my God, these are amazing cards, particularly in relation to a relationship. However, we're looking at the question, we're answering the question with these cards. Okay, and the question is like whether cord cutting, and it's became clear that Samantha wants to like get rid of this relationship, is feeling that this relationship has come to an end and wants to distance herself from it emotionally. Okay, so with the oops, we're going round, this is how we do the wrong thing. So with the Knight of Cups, okay, so let's say this is the person that you're involved with. Okay, this person is, it feels to me like when you think about him, he is you're thinking about how he used to be when you first met. You're thinking about like the times, and he's being, he's being very emotionally manipulative, to be perfectly honest with you. Especially like the image in this card, it's like a fisherman, right? And it feels like you are caught in the net. You're caught up in the net of this relationship. Looking at the sun here, the darker side of the sun, often comes up and shows itself as narcissism. It shows itself as, I think, like on the surface, this individual is somebody who, to the public, to people round about, his peers, his family, your family even, he is very much given the impression that everything's perfect. It's one of the, oh, in public it'll be like, oh, I love you so much, oh, you're amazing, and it's like these compliments so that everybody round about you, it's as if he's setting you up to be, when you leave, because I do feel that you will leave because we've got the Two of Wands as the final outcome card, but it's as if like he's setting this up for him to be the victim, for him to be played as a victim, so it's like you're going to be like the really bad person for leaving, and people will be like, oh, Samantha, how could you possibly leave? Blah, blah, blah. He's so wonderful, but an amazing guy. And it's like that expression is like outside angel, inside devil.
All
Go
right.
through absolutely. But the Two of
This
Wands,
what
like the
she
outcome
just
card
said.
for you, Samantha.
What Marion just said and what you say in this line, I feel people's pain and I have too much sympathy. They are counting on that, my dear. They are using
Mm-hmm.
that against you. They're judoing your ass. They are using your own strength against you. So
Mm-hmm.
don't let that happen.
And this Two of Wands, right? This is you. Um, this is you looking for a way out. This is you searching for a way out. Right, I've just seen this comment. He has done some really dark things to me, and I'm trying to understand. Right, this is nothing to do with tarot. Right now, what I'm about to say to you, Samantha. Right, this is real life. If you are in a position like this individual, there is no way to understand his actions. There's no rhyme or reason to understand his actions, but he is counting on you staying because he is continually playing the victim. And it's like, whilst I don't want to diagnose anybody because I'm not a healthcare professional or anything, but he is displaying narcissistic traits. And if there's people that you can reach out to, then please, whether it's a whether it's a charity, whether it's like some kind of women's aid, something like that, because you really need to get out of this situation, sweetheart. You really do, because there's no good that can come from it. And take it from somebody who, even though this is hard to understand, I've been in a similar situation. I was in a situation where somebody was mentally abusing me. And there's the only thing you can do. You can't cord cut. You need to leave when you've got the strength, when you've got the capabilities. Um, it, I really hope that you can find the strength.
Okay, whoa, wait, whoa. I'm sorry, I did. I've been feeling trapped for 11 years. I got away from him, and some reason he drew me back because I didn't even know why I came back. Okay, I'm going to ask a couple questions. You don't have to answer. I'm assuming he's a good talker, and the nookie was good. That's why he came back. Nobody likes to be alone. He made
It's
you feel
usually
comfortable. He made you feel like you served a purpose in his life. Um, these
it,
are traps.
mhm.
Okay, they're traps.
And you've done it before. You've left before, Samantha, so you know that you can do it again. There's a precedent being set. It's not as if this is uncharted territory for you. You know that you can do it because you've done it before.
I'm not
It's the same as
suggesting you find your inner strength. I'm suggesting you remember your inner strength. Okay. That strength is there. You just forgot because he's created illusions that aren't allowing you to see your own inner strength. So you need to remember. Remember who you are, Mustafa. You need to be strong.
Samantha.
You need to pull on Leo energy. Remember who you are, biatch. All right.
Mhm. You need to find somebody to help you. Whether it's a professional organisation. Obviously, we don't know where you are in the world,
Yeah.
but there will be something somewhere, even if it's somebody at work that you can reach out to.
Remember, we are
There'll be
not professionals. We can give you our advice and our opinions. But if you are in a situation where you feel you need professional help, get it, girl. Get it. You don't even need to tell anybody. Okay.
no.
You're telling somebody now. You're telling us. We're always online. Somebody to talk to. You can call counselors. We suggest that you get professional help if you need it. All
Mhm.
right. Please be careful. All right. Because if you stay in this situation, you're going to keep losing pieces of yourself. You're going to keep making adjustments for another person. You're going to keep cutting parts of yourself away and shoving them down so that somebody else will be
Mhm.
comfortable. And that's not the way things should be. All right.
Mhm.
Um, I, whoa, what is this? That's new. Hold on, everybody. I see. I'm still trying to figure out StreamYard and everything, you guys. This is exciting. I finally upgraded. I don't know if you noticed the video quality is a little better, and Ramon helped me plug directly into the modem. I was Marion the last time we did it live. I remember that it cut out, and I left you on stage by yourself. And you were sitting there going,
I was just
"Hello."
sitting. Hi, hello everybody.
I think that's when it first started because I couldn't get back on stage. I left you on the opening. You're like, "Hello."
It's me. I'm a jinx. So I am. So let's see. Does anybody get any other questions?
I would love another question, you guys. I
Mm.
have Marion
Bobby,
for
have
a
you
little
got a
time.
question? Will we read
Marion,
a
would you
question?
pull a card for
together?
me?
I'll pull a card for you, Bobby. What do
Yay!
you want to?
I have no specific question. I would like to know message from spirit.
Okay.
From an
Let's see.
astrological aspect.
An astrologer. Right. Okay. What we got? Ooh, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So earthy, earthiness. This feels to me like, now looking at the card, right, it's as if she is putting the pentacle into like some kind of natural cupboard, some kind of natural basement. Okay, and go, see that? It's as if she's opening up the earth and planting this pentacle in. And what it feels like to me is this is Virgo energy, so we're in Virgo season just now. What it feels like is right now there are things going on with you, something in your physicality, because we're talking about pentacles, we're talking about earth energy, right? So something physical that's going on with you that you need to plant seeds in order to help at a later date. So if you start making like minor changes, so for instance, like your physical, so say you maybe want to build up strength, you maybe want to build up your physical strength in some aspect, so start making small changes just now. And then in a few months' time, then you'll start to be able to harvest that. I would say round
Yeah.
about Pisces season. So round about February, March time. If there feels like there's changes that you're either thinking about doing or you've been advised to do. And if you start making the wee changes just now, then come Pisces season, because that's the polar opposite to Virgo season, it feels like that you'll be in a much better position to move into the beginning of the astrological year as an Aries season with a whole different outlook for this particular part of yourself.
Pisces season.
February,
Can't
March.
think of anything. Yeah, I can't think of anything I have coming up, but I'm definitely going to write that down. Hold on.
It's something to do with you. It's either your, like, because it's pentacles, right? So it's like either your physicality, your physical well-being, or it's something to do with your spiritual currency. So everybody assumes that pentacles are to do with money, job, income,
Spiritual
that kind of thing.
currency. I like that phrase.
But it can deal with your spiritual currency as well. Currency isn't just actual like pounds or dollars. It's much more than that. It's your physical manifestation. It's how you show up in the world. It's how you take up space in the world. So
Physical
pentacles cover
currency.
all that as
That's
well.
my new favorite phrase. I'm going to send a message to my girlfriend right now, my friend Joey, who I do the card shows with. Anytime we get a new phrase that we like, we share it with each other. I'm going to say physical currency. Is that awesome?
Mhm,
Or spiritual currency.
Physical and
Uh,
spiritual currency.
thank you, Marion. I'm
You're very
intrigued. I want to know what's coming up. It's good to have a heads up.
Doesn't it
Very.
doesn't feel bad. You know, it doesn't feel like it's something difficult. You know, it feels almost like planting something planting something
So
to
something interesting.
just planting something quietly to grow over the winter time. You know, for you, it's almost like,
I'm
you know,
assuming I'm going to have a new idea.
mm, it's almost like getting like maybe a couple of dollars or something taken off of out of your main bank account and put in a savings account, but just a little amount that you don't even really notice it every month. But then after maybe a year or two, you go and check it and you see like there's all this like pile of money that you've saved up, and it's not even been difficult. It's
Interesting.
kind of like that, but it's no money. It doesn't feel like actual like money, like dollars. It feels like something more than that.
I'm intrigued. Now I want to know.
hmm
So for those who are watching who don't realize tarot has an astrological aspect to it, the major arcana has planetary and zodiac associations with it. Like
As the
the
minor.
fool is Uranus, the magician is Mercury, so forth and so on. The minor arcanas, when you get down to it, aces don't have a specific zodiac sign assigned to them. They include all the signs. They are the potential for the energy of the signs.
They're
The
the heart of the element.
Yeah, they are the heart of the element. The first 3 numbers are cardinal energy, cardinal signs. So like the 2, 3, and 4 of Pentacles would be cardinal earth. That's Capricorn. The next 3 are fixed signs. That would be Virgo. Um,
No.
and no,
Taurus.
Taurus. Oh my
Taurus?
gosh, fixed Taurus. I'm talking to a Taurus. I do this every time. Look, I'm always confusing the fixed and the mutable signs. The mutable signs are the last 3 signs. That would be the Virgo
So, do you know how to
signs.
remember it? Do you know a good way to remember it, right?
Tell me.
Your modalities of the zodiac, right? So your cardinal signs are the initiators of the season,
Right.
right? So think about we'll go with the first ones, right? So the first sign of the zodiac is Aries. So it's a cardinal sign and it initiates spring. It's the beginning of spring. It's still a bit frosty, but it initiates spring. When you get to Taurus, which is fixed, you're in the heart of the season. You're in the heart of spring, where the daisies are growing and the daffodils and the lambs are jumping about. And then when you get to Gemini, mutable, they're at the end of the season. So they're the transition sign. So then you go, and then it starts again. So Cancer is a cardinal water. So that's the beginning of summer. Leo is fixed fire. That's the heart of the season. And then we go so forth and so
I
on and so
know it in my head, but when I go to say it, that connection between my brain and my mouth gets all fuckered up, and I say it
we've
backwards.
so much. We've got so much information, and it's
Yeah.
like I didn't just wake up one day and had all this random information in my brain. It's something that you learn and you develop, and that's why, like I always say, like we're always perpetual students. We're
Yeah.
never done learning. It's like every day there's something new to learn. Every reading that you do, you learn something new.
Oh, what is that? I'm getting messages. So, baby
Oh,
angel.
mhm.
Hi, Bobby and Marion. Do you see me meeting new love interest in the next 3 months? I've been single for a while after leaving a 10-year relationship. You know what? I'm going to break out a different deck for you. Let's go with the
That's really
Tarot of
good. I
Dreams.
I had the same thought. I thought I need to change up my deck for this.
Right. Let's we're going to shuffle up real quick for you.
So what we using now, Bobby? The tarot.
I'm using the Tarot of Dreams, Ciro Marchetti.
Oh, my buddy.
I would
My
love
buddy.
to interview that man.
Oh, I'll have a word and ask him.
Will you? I would
I'll
really
see him.
love to get a
I'll see
hold
him
of
in
him.
January. I'll see him in January in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to be in the States. I wish I was nearer Florida. I would love to meet you in person. I'm on the other side of the country. Um, but if you ever come to Arizona where, Tombstone is,
Bobby, if I came to Arizona, I would be a pile of ash. Do you have winter in Arizona?
we do where I live. I live in what's called the high desert.
Right.
So the elevation in the wintertime, we do occasionally get snow. My first year
Oh,
here, it was a white Christmas, but we haven't
really?
had one in the past 2 years.
Right. Okay, I can handle that then. It's cold. I can visit places.
Oh my gosh, does it get cold here? People die of hypothermia in the desert a lot. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
it's yeah. All right, so baby angel relationship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you 3 cards for this, okay? Card 1. The Chariot. Card 2. Strength. Card 3. We'll get to card 3. So, the first two cards, we have the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is associated with Cancer. Okay, Cancer, emotions. We know that this situation deals with emotions. Your question is, do you see me meeting my love interest in the next 3 months? No, I don't. I'm gonna tell you blunt how I feel.
No.
I guess I should have said that. No. I see your love interest is you. Okay. We have the Strength card. The Strength card is you discovering your inner self to make a better environment for a more conducive relationship. If you want a lasting relationship, you need to understand yourself and what you want out of yourself and what you want your partner to see in you and recognize. I think there's a delay because of this last card. That's why I said no. It's an upside down 9 of Swords. Now, the 9 of Swords upside down traditionally to me means your past relationships make you leery about going forward. That's why I say you need to do a little more work on yourself for a lasting relationship. Okay. The 9 of Swords by itself is a card of allowing the past to fuck with your future and your present. But when it's upside down, that means there's serious things in the past that you just haven't gotten over yet that you need to deal with before any lasting relationship can occur. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Marion, what do you got?
Okay, so I would also go with a no. No, in the next 3 months. Just no, hen. No. And I'll tell you for why. Because we've got the 5 of Wands, we've got the Ace of Swords, and we've got the 10 of Wands. Okay.
What is that deck?
What? What?
I
Why?
must have it.
You must have it. It is this Tarot Original 1909 circular deck.
We must have it. Okay, please keep going.
Okay, Frodo. It is mine.
We must have it.
See, there, Bobby. Buffy, please, there's an ocean and half a continent between us. God's sake, to be back on my doorbell there. Okay, anyway, Angel. What I would say is, I would suggest that this is following on from what Bobby is saying, right? You know, that building up that relationship with yourself. And I think by putting a time limit on it, you're creating your own level of conflict. Right, like the 5 of Wands suggests, right? You're talking about your passions, you're clearly wanting, you feel like you're ready to have a relationship again. But I would pose the question to you, are you really? That, 10 years is a long time. And whilst you may feel like physically ready, the fact that we've got the Ace of Swords there, it feels like to me there is still a lot of processing that needs to be done before you go rushing into a new relationship. Now, when you say relationship, right, there can be different levels of that. I mean, We don't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to go and meet somebody and jump into a serious relationship." No, there's a process involved. It's like an interview process. Do you like them? Do they like you? Can you tolerate the way they eat? Can they tolerate the way you maybe slurp your coffee in the morning before you put false teeth in? As an example, just saying. But you know what I mean? It's like it's one thing at a time.
I swear
Um,
I thought you said when you put your false teeth in. I was like, I do
I
that
did
every
I did say that.
Okay. I was like, I
Some
do that
people
every morning.
if if they don't but if you slurp your coffee or something or your tea before you put your teeth in or you try and eat something. I don't know false teeth, but I don't know where this is coming from, by the way, right? I've no idea. I'm a conduit of spirit. Whatever comes out, comes out. Um, but there's things that you need to understand about yourself, baby angel. There's things that you need to there's things that you need to learn and understand about where you are now. Get to know you as a person because you hope the next guy doesn't have false teeth. Hey, you never know.
You know what? Let me tell you something. False to having no teeth can be a plus. I'm just gonna say, go with it. Um, yeah. So
My moon and Venus is in Aries. Stop it. I know exactly
oh,
where
that took a
you're
weird turn.
going. So, to conclude, if you put a time limit on this and say, "Oh well," and like
She
have
said
this
to
deadline
conclude.
on you, uh, there's just going to be a constant struggle, baby angel. Right? That's what there is. You're making things hard work for yourself. Just pull back and enjoy yourself. Enjoy the joy of being single because I will tell you for why. Statistically speaking, the happiest demographic of people on the planet are single females. We are the happiest demographic in society.
Shit.
So it's very addictive. And I mean, with the greatest love in the world, right? I mean, other than like, I mean, really, unless a straight man can catch a spider, really, what are they good for? I mean, you know, what
I've
can they
been throwing cards as Marion has been talking, trying to get a sense of the year for possible meeting people. I threw a card down for each month, and every card has been upside down until we get to August. In August, you have the Ten of Cups. That's the first upright romance card. So maybe around August, you're finally going to come in contact with somebody who would be interesting to get to
Mhm.
know. Um, but yeah, we're both going to say at the precise moment, according to your question, for the next 3 months, I wouldn't say so. No.
Another thing, right? And this is terribly materialistic, right? And terribly dark side Taurus. If you meet somebody in the next 3 months, you're going to need to buy an extra Christmas present or holiday present.
I can't date you. Christmas is coming.
And you don't know who
I
you'll
wasn't
find.
expecting that. But practicalities do come into play. So yeah, that's a good point.
The planet's in a cost of living crisis. We need to be, we need to be frugal.
Um, does anybody else have a question? Because we are going to go for just a few more minutes.
Mhm.
So
This has been
anybody,
so much much fun.
I've had a blast with you today, Marion. This has been fun. Yeah, baby says, and baby angel, what is your real name, by the way? She says, I will save more money. Good.
To buy yourself a Christmas present or a holiday present that you actually like, that you don't have to pretend to the person giving you it that it's lovely.
Yeah, I
And
started writing a book because all I want is this. Shenanigans said this. I went to hit Angel's. Her real name is Winnie. Is what I went to hit, but Angel Shenanigans came up instead. She started writing a book, and I find that interesting. If you can't, I want to write a book. That's why I find it interesting. I've been through so much of my life. I've been homeless. I've been this. I've been that. I've been everything. It would be a very interesting story. I'm just lazy and unfocused. So I'm more out there. I'm not very linear.
I am writing the guidebook for my deck just now, and it's hard. It's hard going. So it is. It's taking it out of me. So it is. Right, do you want to see an exclusive that I'll share?
Of course.
So, Kickstarter's launching in November, and certain people have been asking about stretch goals, and I'm like, I don't know. And people, well, you need to have stretch goals. And I'm like, right, okay. So I sent away for a sample of something.
What?
And it came the other day.
I'm
It
intrigued.
came the other day. I get Terry, my artist. I get Terry, the artist of the deck, to create this. And I sent away for a sample of it. Okay, and scenes we're at a 2-hour mark, and unless you're live, let's face it, nobody's really going to see this, right? So.
Oh, wait, what am I looking at? I see a lion and a lamb.
A unicorn.
A unicorn. Okay. That's beautiful.
And then dolphins.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
So this is a potential spread cloth.
Are you going to, will that be included in the deck?
It will be a stretch goal if we reach that far. I am not doing add-ons for the deck because it's my first Kickstarter, because it's my first time doing anything like this, like totally, well, not totally on my own, obviously Terry's the artist is there, but I'm kind of a lead on this. So we're not making it extra complicated with 5 people want this and 2 people want that and blah, blah, blah. It's like everybody gets everything, or that's, do you know what I mean? That's just that. Depending how well it does, because I mean, there's no way really predicting how it's going to go.
Yeah. I have, Chris Butler talked me into starting my Oracle deck last year. And I've got almost 40 cards done with the concepts. The guidebook, I haven't even started. And the artwork, no clue. So I've got about 2 more years for me on my goal. I want it done right, and I want it done in a specific way.
Have you seen the cards? I'm trying to remember if the last time we were speaking, I don't think I had the cards.
Okay, these are pretty. What does that say?
Isolation.
Oh. And what is the name of this deck?
The Grief Journey Oracle.
And when will it be available?
We are launching.
I'm getting this deck.
We are launching on the 7th of November. That's
Oh,
the
this would be
siblings
of
card.
siblings.
So it's two ponies.
These are lovely. And the artist to say again?
Terry Cottrell. And she is currently in hospital having her first baby as we speak.
Oh,
I know.
as we speak. Oh,
As
well,
we speak.
congratulations.
I know. So
Gee.
there's Clive. You'll have seen Clive.
Oh, anything that has a lion, I love. Yeah,
Mm.
freedom. The strength card has been popping up a lot in
Well,
my.
he is elf.
What's the name of the deck again? I was typing and missed it. Her deck? Hers
It's the
is.
Grief Journey Oracle.
You get
It
that, you
is
guys?
if you go into Kickstarter, you can join to be notified when it goes live. And that's the back of the deck. That's the back of the cards.
It's difficult to see, but
Right there.
definitely something. Oh, I see. Okay. Boy, it's just chock full of lions, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So it's just really special. Do you know what I mean? It's something that I didn't ever really expect.
Grief.
The
That
Oracle, but
was Grief
first,
Oracle.
yep.
She was saying she caught Oracle, but she missed the first part.
Mm-hmm. Grief Journey.
Grief Journey Oracle, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Kickstarter coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to make sure I have my deck in perfect order for presentation because there's two artists I'm going to approach, and both of them are notorious for turning people down. So I'm going to make sure that before I approach them, I have everything I need.
Like I mean, this Terry isn't an artist who has done like a card deck before. She works in oil paints. So every card is an actual oil painting that she painted specifically for the deck. I approached her, I found her on Instagram through a friend. A friend had bought one of her pieces. And I was like, oh my goodness, what the heck? Who is this? I need to know who this person is. And I found that. And it was just at that point where like I had the concept had finally became known to me. Because it was like this really weird process where the universe, my guides, whatever, were like, right, you're going to do something, you're going to create something. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I fought it and fought it. And it got to a stage where they were shouting at me. And I was like, fine then, if I'm supposed to do this, then find me an artist. And I just spoke it out loud. I just said it out loud, fine then, find me the artist. And then it was literally a
Uh-huh.
couple
And the
hours later,
universe said, fine.
hi, she's there.
Fine.
So I approached her. So she's so lovely. She's amazing. She's a Gemini. She's just incredible. And I said to her, look, would you be interested in doing this and being a Gemini? She was like, aha. And we had a Zoom call. We were on the Zoom call for about 4 hours. By the end of it, it was like we felt as if we'd known each other forever. She lives in Cornwall. She lives literally about a 15-minute drive away from where Pamela Coleman Smith painted the Late Smith.
Oh, really?
But she knew
Cornwall, that's Welsh, isn't it?
right down the very bottom of England.
Okay.
So she lives closer to France than me, than to me, like,
France.
obviously. But she's just amazing. And it was like, so one of the images, so the unicorn, let me try to find it.
And does astrology play into your oracle deck?
Nope. No,
Okay.
nothing at all. So the unicorn, like how we got to this stage was with this card. I said to her it was round about like the winter time, it was December time, and I said to her, Terry, do you think we could have a unicorn? And do you think we could have it in a graveyard? And do you think we could have it looking a bit Dickensian? Because I think I had just watched like A Christmas Carol or something, you know, and I was in that kind of a phrase, like that kind of mindset. And then the thing is, it was like that was all I said. You know, can we have a unicorn? Can it be a graveyard? Can it look Dickensian? And she was like, sure, no problem. And like 2 weeks later, she sent me a picture of this.
That's beautiful.
She's incredible.
Here's
She
something
is.
interesting I found out about Dickens. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's the only Dickens fact I really know. White Christmases in England don't happen all the when Dickens was a child, I think 4 or 5 of his first Christmases were white Christmases, and that's why every time he wrote Christmas, it was snowing, and that has perpetuated the worldwide myth of the white Christmas everywhere. So I found that to be interesting. I had to throw that out. It's the only Dickens fact I know. Everybody, leave me alone. Marion,
No,
I want to thank
yeah,
you for joining me today, because we're going to have to cut this. I've got a reading showing up soon. But you guys, I want to thank you all for watching. And Marianne,
yes.
what is the latest you can schedule, like, between our time zones?
Probably this time. Like, so I could probably start. I could start alive at this time. The reason I didn't ask you, I didn't say later, was because I'm doing a market tomorrow. So I'm doing 6-7 hours straight tarot tomorrow. So
Those days. Right. I remember the first time I ever did a fair, I did 14 in a row, and I'd never done that many in a row. It wasn't my first event, but it was the most that I ever done. And it just wiped me out for the next 2 days I slept. So yeah, what do we have on comments before we go? What do you got coming up?
So I have got, so locally I have got this market tomorrow in Glasgow City Centre, where I'll be doing readings. Then next Sunday I've got a local market where I am selling decks and paraphernalia, but I'm also doing a wee mini talk. I am
You're a
having
deck
a
pusher.
I'm having a tarot and divination clinic, so people can ask questions. You know, so it's quite a kind of a beginner friendly thing. There's people for all different levels. And then the big one is the London conference in October. It's 3 weeks tonight. It'll all be over, and I will be sitting having a glass of wine, celebrating or commiserating the quality of my presentation.
You're gonna see Chris over there, aren't you? He'll be there.
I'm going to see
Chris and
Ken
Ken
and
will be there.
Stephen and
Steven.
and
But
Kim
see,
and
we don't have a
Carrie.
big tarot conference like that here in the States that I really We have smaller ones, but nothing huge that I've wanted to go to.
that you've wanted to go to.
That I've
There's a
wanted to
difference.
go to. Let me stress that. Um, there are the
They
ones
do,
like the one you're going to is one of the larger ones here, but
yes. Come to StarCon, come to Florida, January.
that's a big one. But there's a lot of smaller ones out on my side of the country that are just mini ones.
Mhm,
But the
mhm.
big one I want to go to is the London one. I have to watch them on YouTube. But
Yeah. Well, you'll be able
yeah,
to see my
anyway,
presentation. I think you'll be awake in time. So I'm on at 4:15 UK time.
I'm up until 6 in the morning. So yeah, I that's why I watch a lot of UK stuff on TV
Because
and YouTube.
then if it's 1600, right? So if it's 1600 hours to wait, so it'll be 8. I'll be 8 a.m. your time.
I can still
I'll
do
be.
that. I will make a point to watch it. Mm. So I want to
I'm
thank you.
starting.
But for now, we're going to cut it, you guys. Everybody, thank you for watching. And Marion will be back with us on another time. I love having you on because your insights for astrology are just fantastic. I love picking your brain. So I'll see you guys on the next video. All right. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.